Hi everyone, I'm Chen Wang. Today I'm glad to introduce our recent work, Generalization through Hand-Eye Coordination, an action space for learning spatial-invariant visual-motor control. Visual-motor policy learning with reinforcement learning algorithm can be very expensive. For example, prior works usually spend hundreds of hours with multiple robots to learn a certain manipulation skill. On the other hand, offline imitation learning tends to be a more efficient algorithm. Recent work show promising results in learning multi-stage manipulation skills with imitation learning. In these works, with demonstrations less than 100, the robot can efficiently learn to solve complex manipulation tasks. However, visual motor policy learned by imitation learning often fail to generalize to unseen situations. Take grasping as an example. As is shown in the bottom left image, if the object is initialized within the red region in all training demonstrations, the robot learned by imitation learning will quickly fail during testing when the object is placed in the green region. This is due to the fact that visual motor imitation learning is learning the direct mapping from raw pixel images to robot actions, which is hard to generalize to unseen situations. This gives us a question. How can visual motor policy achieve spatial invariance when learning from a fixed set of demonstrations? Let's first think about how humans do manipulation. For example, when humans trying to serve the tea, we usually first place our visual attention on the handle of the teapot. Then, we move our hand to the handle and grasp it. After that, we switch our attention to the mug and move the teapot close to it to pour the tea. This process illustrates a clear hand-eye coordination when humans perform the task. Such coordination allows humans to adaptively direct their end effector movements at task-relevant objects and be invariant to the object's absolute spatial locations. Based on this observation, we hypothesize that we can attenuate the spurious correlation between the input image and demonstrated actions in visual motor imitation learning policy by enforcing this human-like coordination of visual attention and end effector movements, which enables the policy to be better generalized to new situations. In this work, we are introducing a learnable action space for imitation learning algorithm named Hand-Eye Action Network HAND. Thinking about this pipeline as traditional imitation learning algorithm which learns a direct mapping from visual observation to actions, the key idea of HAND is to add an additional component between the observation and action to mimic humans' hand-eye coordination behavior. Similar to human, the robot will first learn to localize a keypoint from its visual observation. Then, the keypoint should be turned into the 3D scene as a 3D keypoint. Finally, the robot will generate an end effector action based on the predicted 3D keypoint. However, there are two major challenges to achieve this idea. First, how to generate visual attention. Since the manipulation is in the 3D scene, the keypoint should be also placed in 3D. Also, for multi-stage tasks, the attention should switch between different stages of the task. Secondly, is a single attention keypoint enough to generate successful manipulation actions? Seems like a more detailed information is required for the action generation. Here is an overview of our architecture design. There are two major components in HAND, the 3D attention generation and an action target network. With these two components, HAND could enable imitation learning algorithm to learn to predict attention and generate action based on it, which is similar to humans' hand-eye coordination. Note that HAND is an architecture design choice that requires no additional supervision. We still take state action pairs from the dataset, and no explicit 3D keypoint annotations are used. To tackle these challenges, we first propose a multi-stage 3D attention network. Take a third-person view RGBD image as a global observation input. The network first randomly crops the whole image into multiple local regions. Each region will then be processed by a CNN network with spatial softmax as a last layer to output a single keypoint and a confidence score. These keypoints are then projected into the 3D with a depth signal and a camera intrinsics. After that, a final 3D keypoint will be calculated by a weighted average over all image patches. There are several good features of this design. Since the keypoints are predicted within each local image patch, even when the objects are placed to unseen position during testing, the network can still localize the keypoint from certain local regions. Also, for multi-stage tasks, the design of the confidence score could be used for attention switching. Take pick and place as an example. In the first stage, the robot will give a high confidence score to the red cube and take action to grasp it. After holding the cube, the confidence score of the region with the green plate will be higher, and the robot will move to place the cube on it. As I discussed previously, a single key point might not be enough for complex action generation. Therefore, we further propose an action target network. Take the previous generated key point and its feature as input. Several MLP layers output a 3D offset, a scalar gain, and a gripper value. The robot action target direction is a vector direction from the robot end effector to the location calculated by adding the 3D offset to the key point. The final robot action is the scalar gain times the action target direction. This design provides more details for the robot action generation to achieve complex manipulation skills. We evaluate our approach in 3 task domains: a basic task lifting, a multi-stage pick and place, and a challenging tool manipulation. To test the spatial generalization capability, we divide the operation space into an interpolation region and an extrapolation region. During training, the target objects are initialized within the interpolation region. During testing, the objects are placed in the extrapolation region, which is not included in the training dataset. This design can clearly showcase whether the learned policy model is spatial-invariant. Here are the 3 baselines we use to compare with. A traditional visuomotor behavior cloning algorithm, our proposed hand without the action target network, and the full implementation of hand. The red bounding box shown in the results are the region with the highest confidence score, and the blue and green circles are the 3D attention and 3D offset projected in the camera frame. In the first experiment, behavior cloning failed to grasp a cube when it is placed in the extrapolated region. Hand without action target network largely outperformed the BC for more than 40% success rate. This result showcases the advantage of the proposed region-based 3D attention network. The full implementation of hand achieved the best performance with 73% grasping success rate, which is further highlight the importance of the action target network. We also observe that hand is more sample efficient compared to the baselines. With 200 demonstrations, hand achieved the best performance with 73% success rate, which is better than original BC image for more than 50%. In addition, in the situation with only 50 demonstrations, hand also had the smallest performance drop and keeps 60% success rate. As I discussed previously, Another important feature of hand-eye coordination is its capability to switch attention during a multi-stage task. Here we visualize the qualitative result of the keypoint prediction of hand. As we can see from the video, after the robot grasps the cube, the attention quickly switches from the cube to the green plate, and then guide the robot to approach and place the cube. We also test how does each imitation learning algorithm perform when facing suboptimal human demonstrations. We use Visuomotor teleoperation platform to collect human demonstration on all three domains. Hand has the smallest performance drop by changing the training data from the expert demonstration to human demonstration. Finally, we test all the baseline in the most challenging multi-stage tool manipulation task. Traditional BC image failed in this task. The hand without action target network can successfully pick up the cube, but sometimes fail to put it into the ring. Our full implementation of hand achieved the best performance for both tool manipulation and putting the cube into the ring. In summary, we developed a novel action space for learning human-like hand-eye coordination behaviors. We propose a novel 3D attention mechanism that learns to generate 3D keypoint at task-relevant locations for guiding the robot and effector movements without direct keypoint supervisions. We evaluate on 3 simulated continuous control tasks of varying difficulties. The learn policy could generalize to tasks with unseen environment configurations in a zero-shot manner. Thanks for watching.